Hello modelers, I made a video to show what I did to sink my track down into the foam so I can fill it in to make it look more like cement inside the building, because you wouldn't have just track with ties inside the building. First thing I did, I didn't show the whole process because it would take hours, but this took me several hours to do this. First thing I did is I actually took the track, I cut the foam. You can kind of see here, there's a ditch I dug for the foam, or for the track to lay into. I just measured the width of the track, drew some lines, cut it out with a knife, and then I glued the track down into it. That way I wouldn't have to build up such a high amount of material here to fill up the track rails. So I did that first, glued the track, let it sit there for about, well, you can just let it sit there about 6 to 8 hours, but I waited about a week just because I had other things to do. Then what I did next is I took grout, just a grout I had left over from a tiling project I have, or I just did, and I just filled it over with a trowel, just kind of like you would with any even grout, smoothing it out the best you can. It's never going to be perfect. It always looks lumpy and clumpy. But then after it dried, I sanded it, as you can see what it looks like here. Now I'm going to touch up around it gray. I used a dark gray, or medium gray, like kind of like an asphalt, old asphalt or light cement color grout. So now I'm going to paint around it here and in between and there. I'll sand that again, the paint, to give it a little rough look. So when it's done, it'll all kind of blend together. Then back here, I'll fill this in with some more of my grit, my dirt and such. So, and then I'm going to have a series of pictures after the end of this, and you'll be able to see what I did. And I may make a little tiny video to show how I cut the foam out. It was actually very easy with just using a little knife, X-Acto style knife. This is the final product of how it all came out when I was done. I just kind of painted it, its last coat of gray. I think it came out pretty good. If you look, it's nice and kind of coarse and rough to make it look like it's actually some kind of cementish asphalt, whatever, worn out, used. The trains go over it quite well. They stay powered in it. And all I did was paint it after I got done with everything. Just use primer gray brush paint. So here again is how I made the track sink into the foam. I cut a channel in my foam, the width of the track, and you can see the track just drops right down in there. And once I dropped it down in there, I just glued it. And it's nice and flush. If you look, you can kind of see it, just barely the rails stick above it. And if you look really close here, you can kind of still see where the dirt is, how it's sunk down in there, and then it goes across. Came out pretty good, I think. Give it a try.